Mindi Abair, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun to see you.
Do you
It doesn't
know,
happen enough.
come
I
on,
even
the
brought the
mask.
smiley face for you.
Oh, you did.
Whoa.
Oh my God, look at that. What is it made out of? I I
That
don't need.
that is made out of wood that we got from, doing some renovation on the house. It's a 1916 Craftsman. So, we took just everything we found from the electric system, the old knob and tube electric system and everything. So
Oh.
we had fun making that.
Okay, so I was doing the math in my head. The last time I saw you was the year you were named Instrumentalist of the Year International at the Canadian Smooth Jazz Awards 2011. I have not seen you in 11 years.
That's crazy.
I know, and
Well,
you
it's amazing that we both look younger and sexier.
I was gonna say you look the same. And what's funny? We just started in Vancouver, Wave 98.3, which is such a thrill for us to be on the West Coast. Yeah. And we have a new thing now where we have a text number and people can text us all the time and we can just text back and chat. And it's super fun. And,
It's
and
not
my
2011 anymore.
I know. So my new friend Doreen, she goes, I saw all your pictures on Instagram and you look like you could be Mindi Abair's sister.
I think
And
I think
I,
we could go for that.
I
Yeah.
said I could be Mindi Abair's mother. That's so anyway, here we are,
No.
and there you are, and welcome to the West Coast. Welcome to Vancouver. We are so happy not only to have you on the air at Wave 98.3, but now our first big contest, and Heidi is going to Catalina Island to hang out with you. I want to hear all about it. Have never been to Catalina Island, and I know
You
you
need to
have.
go.
How many times have you played?
Oh, wow. Okay, I started playing Catalina Island in 1993 for the festival. And Art Good brought me over there as, an unknown. He had seen me playing in some clubs in San Diego, and he's always been really cool about, exposing new talent. So he brought me over and had me play, a few of my own songs and then play in this all-star setting. And that was where I got to meet, a lot of people for the first time. I remember, Peter White still tells the story that I went up to him and gave him my demo tape. Here you go, Peter.
Oh,
Not what's he going to do with my demo tape, but I just figured, hey, I wanted into this cool club. And I ended up loving Catalina Island so much that I came back there to play. I would spend months on the island and just play in the restaurant there, the Blue Parrot. And I really got to know so many people there, and it became this beautiful second home. So I've played the festival most years since 1993, and I would just call up Art and go, I want to come over, let's create some cool stuff. So hence I would play up at Wrigley Ranch, I would play on the beach, and I would just stay for a couple days and soak it in. But it's a really magical place. I love going to beautiful places. I'm a beach girl, I grew up in Florida, so it's the best of a lot of worlds for me.
so now that you and your husband, and I love that you call your husband your cork dork. That's hilarious. So
It's what he is.
he's a wino. I'm a wino, and I love that you guys have started a collaboration together. And I would like you to tell us a little bit about that. But I would like to also to find out, will your collaboration be making an appearance on Catalina Island?
Yes, we will be wine and jazzing it. Um, so yeah, I'll tell you more about what we're planning on Catalina. But I'll tell you the Cliff's Notes of how we started our thing. I mean, look, we already have dream jobs. I get to play music and write music and tour with my band. And Eric has a dream job too. I mean, he's run some of the most iconic wineries, Kendall Jackson, Mum Napa, Gary Farrell, Perry Jouet. I mean, he's not just a cork dork. He's not just a guy who likes wine. He's a guy who's been an executive at some of the world's most amazing wineries. But there came a point where we were looking at our lives and, you think about, okay, blue sky thinking, what would your best life be? And so we sat down with a bottle of wine. We were like, let's just delve in, you know. So, bottle of wine, a couple magic markers. We had a little whiteboard. We just went for it. And we wrote down really what we loved and what we wanted out of life. We wanted to be together more. Eric had sold wine to so many companies, and he was up, you know, in the executive offices. He wanted a more personal experience. So we created wineandjazz.com because it was the best of both of us, and we figured out a way that we could have our own little wine club. Eric knows all these winemakers and people who run wineries. They would make wine just for us. And that's what's happened. You know, he kind of picks and chooses from winemakers he loves and from friends in the business. And we can get these small lot wines that no one else can get. And we love art, so we brand them musically. So each wine is a brand that we come up with the artwork or have our friends come up with the artwork. And then I curate a music playlist, which I love. So every wine has
And
its playlist.
and I'm sorry, I saw that on your website and I thought, wait a minute, that's my job. I'm the disc jockey. Okay. You are the saxophone player. And I am the one that should be. I want to curate a wine playlist for you.
All right, we're going to talk about that. We
Okay.
could send you the wine in advance,
Yes.
and you know, and I can tell you, look, what I think about it. He, you know, speaks in geeky wine terms, and he's great at that. But I'm a musician. I think of everything in music, right? Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are. You think of everything in, oh, this song or this style. Like we have a rosé coming out. Actually, this week it's shipping to our wine club members, and I called it Flower Child. I was born
Yeah.
in '69, Summer of Love. So we took all these songs from, you know, '69 and that era and just made this total hippie, beautiful, lovey, you know,
I love
playlist
it.
for our
Yeah.
Flower Child wine.
And so now if somebody wants to join the club and also you do beautiful tours, you travel to Europe and Sonoma and everywhere and you personally are there with the members of the club, with your husband, making music, sharing wine, sharing the travel experience. How does somebody join? How does somebody get to be a part of this group?
You know what? Go to wineandjazz.com. That's our website. And, you know, the wine club is one part of it, but our club members get kind of the first dibs on our adventures. And we started our company probably 6 months before the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, we just thought, oh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
But then you guys started drinking like crazy.
Uh-huh.
People got very thirsty during the pandemic.
Yes.
So our wine, you know, our wine business did really well. But then, you know, we just kept thinking, well, we can't travel right now, but this is what we love. You know, we love the wine and we love shipping wine to people and having them love it and listen to the playlist. But in a, you know, a perfect scenario, let's take 40 people someplace we love. Our first overseas one was Tuscany, and so
Mhm.
we spent, you know, 5 6 days in Tuscany with 40 people. And my musical guest was Jim Peterick, who wrote Eye of the
Ooh,
Tiger
of
and Hold On
course.
Loosely. I mean, we did this concert in a 12th century palace. It was unbelievable. And then, you know, a concert a day that was kind of unplugged in some winery or beautiful place. And now we're going to Spain in a couple weeks for our 2022 adventure in Spain. We're going to Rioja and San Sebastian. So Bernie Williams, who's a very famous baseball player for the Yankees, he's a great guitarist. He's coming with us. We
Wow.
also have this incredibly really, really famous flamenco guitarist who's going to play for us as well. I'm going to sit out on that set and just watch. He looks like a pirate. He's amazing. So, you know, I like to soak in the local color, the local wines, the local food. And we're bringing 40 people with us, and then they're going home, and we're bringing another 40 for another week.
Oh,
So it's been a really cool thing to just share really intimate experiences, get to know each other. We're going to Bordeaux next year, And we've got a couple rooms left for Bordeaux, but not many.
So
And
that would be also on your website if somebody wants to
yep.
join you for Bordeaux. Yeah.
Yeah, wineandjazz.com. You'll see the wines. You can listen to the playlist. You can see the artwork. Order a bottle and see, see if you
Yeah.
love it.
Can do
And,
you now
or just join the
important
club.
importantly for us for Vancouver, do you ship to Canada if we join your club? Do you
I
know
don't,
if you're can you
I
do
don't
that?
think we do ship to Canada. So yeah, it would
Mm,
have to be someone who lived in the US.
yeah. Well,
Sorry.
yeah, we need to
Not
get a
yet.
little hot spot in Seattle and then just drive over and pick them up.
I
Smuggle
know,
them
right?
back.
We'll
Yeah.
get a little, yeah, a little drop. It'll be like a
Okay.
drug deal.
I want to ask you just a bunch of random questions now, just random questions. A lot
Good
of
for that.
people,
I mean, I
uh,
think.
I think you're good. So a lot of people know that, of course, you played on American Idol. I think you got, facially very famous, the beautiful blonde playing on American Idol. Then you got to tour with Aerosmith for a
Yeah.
while. Um, in two sentences, what's it like being on the road with that band? Two sentences.
Yeah, because we could take all day with
I
Aerosmith.
know.
Look, when Steven asked me to join the band for that tour, when Steven Tyler asks you something, you don't say no. And it
Right.
was everything I'd hoped for. I really look back and just think, what a beautiful life experience. I was in this
Yeah.
bubble of being an artist, and I got the chance to kind of expand my bubble with American Idol and then expand it even further being on stage with those guys every night. And I loved every second. I
Awesome.
recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can play tambourine quite well. Perhaps they'll have me next. Um,
You know
okay.
what? Go for it.
On your latest album, Forever, which I did review, and I am going to post my review again on our Facebook page for Wave 98.3 so that our new Vancouver people can read all about your great new album. But you do a
Thank
song
you.
with Kenny Wayne Shepherd, who outside of the world of blues is maybe not a household name, but for me, I have been a big fan, big fan. So,
Yeah.
what was it like for you to work with Kenny Wayne?
You know what? I literally took, a few years and made records as Mindi Abair and the Bone Shakers and just immersed in blues. And for me, I love the blues. It's the building blocks of rock and roll. It's the building blocks of jazz. And to immerse in that world for a few years, we made 4 records together.
Hmm.
It was really fun to get to know the musicians, the artists, and just that world a little more. Actually, this year we're doing the legendary Rhythm and Blues Cruise at the end
Ooh.
of October. And you know what? It's just a whole nother set of incredible musicians that are unbelievable at what they do, that it confounds me that jazz and blues don't cross pollinate more, because
Right.
it is just such separate worlds. I had the time of my life playing with Kenny Wayne. I just think he's a powerhouse. He's an amazing
Yeah.
musician. And the song just came to life. I was like, Kenny, just do your thing. And that song it becomes this rock anthem.
Yeah. Well, and you rock out good. Like, you're not just a smooth jazzy kind of gal. You rock out real good. And which
Thank
brings
you.
me to this question. Um, are you now kind of going to get back more into a smooth jazz groovy kind of groove, or are you going to just keep doing a big variety of stuff and doing it all well?
Ah, you're so sweet. Actually, this record Forever was really a coming back to me, and
Mm,
coming back to more smooth jazz and more melodic instrumentals. For those years that it was Mindi Abair and the Bone Shakers, it was a blast. It was, just power and mojo, and it was so great. But there were all these songs that I was writing that I really wanted to get out, and I kind of had put them on a shelf. And so it's always nice to come back to that core of who you are, and make a record that's very heart and soul. So that's what Forever is. It was
mm.
Mindi Abair forever. You have to say it like that. It's a chant.
Uh,
Um,
d-
but yeah, the
Do
music
you
that I'm making going forward will be more melodic, more smooth jazz. Obviously with elements of everything I've done, there will be probably a rock track on something or a blues track on something because it's going to be hard not to. But the majority of it will be more melodic and more smooth.
Okay, so back in 2011, we were backstage at the Smooth Jazz Awards, and just you and me were
Yep.
in the women's dressing room, and I had to take my shoes off because my feet were so sore. Is that wine in that glass? And yeah,
It's
I know.
Japanese green tea.
uh-huh. And I said to you, why don't you sing more? You know, that's one song you have, which was one of the first vocals I ever heard you, was Stars, which I still love that song. And I
I
think you have
love that you love that
I
song.
love that song. It's absolutely a beautiful, romantic, heartfelt, gorgeously sung song.
Thank you.
So why now you are singing more? Certainly on Forever you sing more.
Yeah.
As you go forward, I mean, I would love to see you tackle some maybe some R&B classics,
That'd be
but vocally as well as with the sax. Is that something that you might do just for me?
I might do it just for you, actually.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
good.
what? It was an interesting few years right after I saw you in 2011, going on tour with Aerosmith and doing Idol and singing more. I mean, with Aerosmith, I was doing all the background vocals with him too.
Oh,
And,
nice.
to keep up with Steven Tyler, to sing above him, you're definitely like, you're going for it. So I really think that gave me more confidence,
Oh,
even,
yeah, good.
and even on this last record, Forever, Steve Perry walked in when we were recording, and I'm a huge Journey fan. I'm a huge Steve Perry fan. Who's not? Who doesn't like Steve Perry's voice? So he came in and really talked me through a few things, and things that I was feeling like, well, I don't know if I should sing this. Why don't you sing this? He ended up singing with me on probably 5 tracks on the album, which it's beautiful to have him on the record.
Hmm.
But he also gave me this confidence and really just said, go out and do what moves you. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I continue to sing a lot in my sets now, and that is a difference from when I first started. I was kind of a little more shy about singing and really relied on the sax. But now, it's such a great thing to be able to have lyrics and to,
Yeah.
have a different thing that, you guys can sing along with me. There's a song on the new record, Say It With Love, that
Hmm.
the audience sings along with me, and it's just it's awesome. And you can make statements that you can't make melodically. We did a song called Where There's a Woman, There's a Way. And we just had a choir come in and do a music video for it with us. And so it's out on YouTube. Look up Where There's a Woman, There's a Way, Mindi
Hmm.
Abair. And
Okay.
you can't do that, with just a melody. So I really use my vocal songs, choose them carefully, write them carefully, and make it something that I want to say.
I think you got it going on all across the board. I mean, you're making music, you're making a great life with your husband, you look amazing, you're singing more, you're exploring more of who you really are. And I am just so delighted to reconnect with you after all these years. I keep
Same
bugging
here.
I
It's
keep
great.
bugging Mary Kirk to start up the awards again in Vancouver. Um, I'll keep bugging Mary Kirk to keep starting up the awards because I miss all you guys. It was so much fun every year,
Yeah.
and the last year to have you there was amazing. So Catalina Island, our winner will be there with you, Heidi, and I'm sure she's really looking forward to it. I will post my review of your new album on our Wave Facebook page for Vancouver, and just an absolute delight to be playing you on the West Coast. And we got to, oh, wait, I have another question. David wants to know, will you be doing your annual Valentine's gig at Jazz Alley in Seattle?
So I'm actually going to be back to Seattle a couple times. I'm coming back November 7th to do a show for a charity that I love, that I've worked with them since they started 11 years ago. It's called In Concert for Cancer. And so it's going to be me hosting it. It's going to be the Ides of March with Jim Peterick.
Yeah.
It's going to be Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad, and it's going to be Ray Parker Jr. And so, I mean, the music is going to be just crazy, and we're all friends, so we're all going to kind of sit in with each other, and I think that'll be amazing. So it's all for a good cause, and that'll be at Jazz Alley in Seattle. And then I'm coming back to do uh, my Valentine's Day, extravaganza. We'll be there for 3 or 4 nights.
Awesome.
Valentine's week, and I always look forward to that. This will be our 21st year doing it. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Well, we got to get Vancouver to see you, and we got to, more importantly, get you to Vancouver. So we are going to be working on that. In the meantime, Seattle will have to do. Thank you so much for taking the time, joining us from, I assume, your home in Hollywood, in West Hollywood. Do you still live in
Yeah,
West Hollywood?
we're
Yeah.
right in Hollywood. I think it's too early for the helicopters and the sirens. You've escaped that.
I have totally escaped that.
But
Thank
yeah,
you,
we went to the
Mindy.
Hollywood Bowl last night and walked up because it's,
Oh,
just a few blocks up, and it was just, it's Hollywood. It's nuts.
yeah. I was there. My son was at MI, at the Musicians Institute, and I was there.
It's down the
Thank you.
street.
Thank you. And I personally would just love to join you and Eric on one of your tours. So I'm going to have to work on that from the home front. But thank you so much, Mindy, for joining us today. And great introduction to all of our new fans in Vancouver with Wave 98.3. We are happy that you are part of our cool vibe, because you're pretty much the coolest chick I know. So
You are
thank
so
you.
cool to say that. No, I love you guys, and it means so much to have you playing our music up there, and hopefully it opens doors for us to come up there and spend more time because I just
Yeah,
love Vancouver.
we will
So
make
bring
we
me
will
up
make that
there.
happen. Yes, we will. All right, Mindi Abair, thank you so much.